Hello, my name is Kerry Arthur, and before we get started, there's just a couple of things I'd like to mention. Firstly, I am patient zero, I do have the zombie plague, and soon the apocalypse will start and it'll all be my fault. Except not really. I have a very, very young baby daughter, and it turns out children are the holder of all illnesses, which means that all of them at some point come to me. So if the video has lots of cuts in it, I apologise. It's simply because my chest is in ruins and my voice is terrible, as you can hear. The other thing is that there is some very important news at the end of the video, so stick around and listen to that. It's to do with the channel. There'll be more details on Wednesday, but it's just to tide you over so you know what's going on. Anyway, on to the matter at hand, which is Brash Games. Again. Except this is the last Brash Games video, because Brash Games is no more. If you go to brashgames.co.uk, you will see this. Oh dearie me. As you can see, the website is gone. It's just gone. It's been deleted. It is no longer there, and the domain name is up for sale. By the way, if anyone wants to start some sort of crowdfunding thing to perhaps purchase it and make it redirect to something, maybe Jim Sterling's video on the subject, maybe Ben McCurry's article that he did on the Jimquisition talking about it, maybe one of my previous videos. Just a thought. Anyway, Brash Games is gone. Paul Ryan has deleted the site and put the domain name up for sale. And yesterday I was incredibly happy about this. Now, I was happy enough that I made what I referred to at the time as the worst video I've ever made. It was a right meme clusterfuck, but it made me laugh at the time. However, even whilst I was making it, I was thinking to myself, for some people this really sucks. And it really sucks because there are people whose work is now gone for no reason other than Paul Ryan apparently is incapable of apologising or indeed talking publicly about something that affects not just him but other people as well, which we'll get onto in a minute. But this morning I woke up, and having slept on it and reflected on it a little bit, I'm not happy about it. Like, I'm not actually happy that Brash Games is gone. I'm not happy that the site's been deleted. I'm actually kind of angry about it. And it is precisely because of what I've just said. I mean, we can give a quick, brief rundown of what happened with Brash Games. Basically, there was an article that Ben McCurry wrote, a review for Pac-Man 256, 256, 256, whatever you want to call it. And that got a lot of attention. It got a lot of attention because he called out Brash Games for doing dodgy shit. Rightfully so, in my opinion. There was an open critic investigation into it. Then I did a video about it, except mine was focused on the fact that there was suddenly gambling, well, I say suddenly, there was gambling links all over the website that no one seemed to have noticed. I did get told that actually there were a few people on Twitter who were about to do a similar thing to me, so we seemed to have found the information about the same time. And then Jim Sterling picked it up and brought it to a much wider audience, shone a brighter light on it than I could, and I was happy about that, because people needed to know what Brash Games was up to. This is a website, a person, Paul Ryan, who owns it, who treated their writers like crap. Removing bylines after writers left, changing review scores. Like, even after being called out for it and being told that it was not acceptable, rather than take full responsibility, there was then a catalogue of instances whereby he blamed writers who'd left, saying that they were trying to get free games and using Brash Games' name to get review codes for themselves. It was a mess. It was a horrible mess that could have actually been fixed fairly easily by Paul Ryan admitting fault, vowing to reverse it, and not doing it anymore. He didn't do that, unfortunately. Very unfortunately. If he had done that, I wouldn't have started digging and I wouldn't have made my video. That, it didn't get tens upon thousands of views, but it did its job. When I made that first video showing all the links to the gambling sites, I remember saying it to my community in the Discord server that we have, and to some good friends that helped me with the channel, that even if like 50 people watched that, I wouldn't really care. I suspected it would blow up. Like, I got the feeling that it would blow up and it would turn into a big thing. Didn't imagine it would turn into the thing that it did turn into, but I did suspect that it might. But at the same time, I was all prepared for it to get the normal number of views that my videos get, and I just thought, as long as one person sees it, if that person is then approached by Brash Games or is thinking of writing about Brash Games and then decides not to, that video's done its job and I'm happy. That was literally the entire thing behind it. I just thought, this is shady as hell. This company is not treating its writers properly, and it's clearly doing other shady stuff besides. People need to know. And that was the entire incentive. I didn't expect it to really go anywhere other than a few people to go, oh man, that sucks, I'll avoid them. And that would have been enough. Genuinely, that would have been enough. It blew up. Jim Sterling was on it. I sent him all the information I had on Brash Games when he said he was doing a Jim Inquisition episode about it, and I'm really glad I did. He found stuff that I didn't find, which is excellent. And here we are. The end result is that Paul Ryan has disappeared and Brash Games is gone. But instead of being happy and feeling like I've won, or we've won, it's we, not I, instead it feels very Pyrrhic. And it feels Pyrrhic because there is still no acceptance of responsibility. Like, yeah, the website's gone. People can't write for Brash Games accidentally anymore because Brash Games doesn't exist. But Paul Ryan has just disappeared. He's vanished. He's nowhere to be found. He doesn't respond to emails. People that were writing for Brash Games as this was going down can't get hold of him. The website's been deleted, which is great, except I've seen so many people on Twitter whose work has just gone now. It's just been removed. They were given no warning. Paul Ryan didn't say the website's going offline in a day, or even an hour. Grab any articles that you don't have backed up because they won't be there anymore. Instead, he just got rid of it. And that's where I have a really big problem with this. Paul Ryan was clearly not the most upstanding of individuals, but I at least hoped that somewhere in him he had a little bit of respect for the people that worked for him and with him. I kind of maintained hope that there would at least be something in there that at the very least was grateful to the people who made Brash Games what it was. Because actually, if you ignore the bylines, if you ignore the bits that Paul Ryan was involved with, the gambling links and the removing of bylines, the changing review scores, Brash Games was a very well written review website. The actual content that was written by people, not like scraped by bots or linking to some dodgy shit, it was good. Brash Games had some nicely written material. Paul Ryan didn't do any of that though. The writers did, and Paul Ryan just got rid of it all. No warning, no offer to help back it up. And that's the thing that's made this very sour to me. I don't like seeing people have credit for work taken away. I don't like the idea of someone working hard for someone else and then just being fucked over by it. That gets to me on just a fundamental core of my bitter old heart level. I just cannot stand that kind of thing going on. And it was already bad enough. The bylines, review scores, that was already bad enough. But people who weren't even involved in this, people who didn't make comment, didn't wade in, didn't give their point of view, just stay quiet. They didn't want anything to do with the fallout surrounding Brash Games. They got punished. And for what? For working for the dude for like 2 years? There was someone on Twitter who has been writing for Brash Games for 2 years, and all of her work's just gone. She said nothing. She participated in no way in this little fight between Brash Games and everyone else. She kept her mouth shut. She was happy working there, and she hadn't had her bylines removed or anything. Not that I could tell anyway. Not that they'd mentioned. But just like everyone else, all her work gone. Just gone. And I know there'll be people who say, oh, well, you should always back up your work. Yeah, well, hindsight is great, but it just staggers me that even now he is surprising me with just how little respect he has for the people who worked for him. This was something that he could have fixed. That's the other thing. That's the thing that gets me. The lack of respect doesn't just extend to the writers, it extends to everyone who talked about this, and to a degree to himself as well. He could have actually done something about this. He could have apologised for the removal of bylines, for the changing of review scores, vowed never to do it again, reinstated all the old writers' names, and I would have respected him for that. You know, an admission of guilt, an admission of doing something wrong, either through ignorance or malice, and then attempting to fix it as best you can. I can have respect for that. I can't have respect for denying responsibility, or claiming that it's all someone else's fault. I can't respect that. It's the same thing with the gambling links. Yeah, he shouldn't have done it in the first place. He should have, but just not done it in the first place. I can respect not wanting ads on your content, but going the route of being paid for links to gambling sites is not the way round that. And it's also completely illegal. And him deleting the site, to me, it's frankly an admission of guilt. But it's an admission of guilt that he could have made himself without deleting however many people's hard work. Saying, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done that, I knew I shouldn't have done it, these are the reasons that I did it, flimsy though those reasons may be, I can accept being given a reason for something. If it had been, I didn't want ads to appear on the site, I wanted it to be a painless, smooth kind of experience for the user, where you don't have adverts getting in the way, so I went this direction, it was the wrong thing to do, I'm sorry, I've deleted all those articles, I can take that, I can respect that. But he didn't do that. He tried to cover it up by changing names and changing the terms of service and deleting categories and deleting tags, deleting links. Just trying to alter stuff that we'd already taken screenshots of and people already knew about. I can't have respect for that. And the thing that is, I don't think he's got any respect for himself, that he thinks that the best way to handle things is to just run away. Run and hide is what he went for. But above all, the thing that I just can't stand about this resolution, this ending to like the Brash Games saga, is the knowledge that all those people who worked so hard for Paul Ryan and for Brash Games never got an ounce of respect from him, because he pulled the plug, got rid of their work without a damn word. Nothing. No public statement, no mass email, no admission of guilt, no apology, no chance to back up all the stuff they'd done for him. Yeah, you're writing because you want your name out there, you're writing for exposure, if you're lucky you're writing because you got paid. But it's still your work, and it's still your choice to work there, and to write articles there, and to publish your work there. And he took that choice and disregarded it as though it meant nothing. That is the most disappointing thing about this whole thing now, and the thing that's made what should be a result very, very bitter in the mouth. I really honestly thought at some level he had a little more respect for the people who made Brash Games, well, who made the positive side of Brash Games what it was, because he didn't do jack shit for the positive side of Brash Games. It was other people's hard work and talent that made that, and he just wiped it all away. When he crops up again, and he will, don't fall for it again. I know you won't. I know a lot of you won't. I know a lot of you are going to have a very long memory from this, that you're not going to fall for the same kind of, well, the same kind of people, the same kind of sites, the same kind of trick, I guess. But he will come back, and when he does, we'll just remind him of why he was forced to leave in the first place. You don't treat people the way that he treated people. You definitely don't treat people the way he treated people right at the end. That is disgusting, spiteful behaviour. And there are not words really for the level of contempt I have for the way that he's handled this. Anyway, my voice is about to go. As you can hear, it's on its way out. And having said that, I had a massive coughing fit. So, we'll move on to the very final thing. There won't be a video tomorrow. Instead, I will be streaming tomorrow from 3 PM GMT over at twitch.tv/Kiriath. And this is part of a new structure of content for the YouTube channel and for the Twitch channel. More detail will come on Wednesday, so look out on Wednesday evening where I'll explain everything that's going on, and I'll update you with what I'm thinking of doing with the channel and the content and all of that stuff. Don't worry, it's nothing bad, it's good, it's definitely good. I'm hoping you'll like what you're going to hear. In the meantime, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you liked it, like it. Subscribe if you want to, there's something somewhere around here, and there's also a link to the Patreon page around here as well. Oh, and there's a video right there, sort of. Yeah, click it if you like. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Toodaloo.